morning. What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? Welcome. Who else is tired? I'm tired from staying up and watching the game. I couldn't go to bed. Just watching the whole thing. It's a great game. Giants fitter, yeah. Good luck, Chef. Bills look great. Yeah, I went heavy Josh Allen, Gabe Davis in all of my fantasy leagues. So that was a good day for me. Gabe Davis is from UCF. Go Knights. And it was nice to see yesterday him do pretty well, especially for the fantasy. So, good morning. Hope everyone's having a good morning. If you see me looking right here, if you ever see me looking down here, it's because the Italian Grand Prix is on in Monza for the practice. So I'm looking at that at the same time, just to let you know. That's why if I ever see me looking down, that's why. So, all right, let's get started. So, good morning. Hope everyone's having a good start to the day. Upside this morning. Little bit of a gap up on the market. You saw that strength come in yesterday. You saw it go into close, and you're seeing a little bit of a gap up. Now, of course, gap ups are good and bad for bulls because you're probably going to expect some type of downside early morning or some type of gap fill or some type of pullback for buyers to come back in. People are not going to want to get involved on a big gap up. So we'll see. I would expect some type of weakness in the morning. That's just typically what happens on any type of gap up. So we'll have to look at where do we see which levels do we want to watch for potential pullbacks if we get pullbacks, and then what potential levels we have to watch to the upside. So let's go ahead and get started. Today is the 9th. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Futures economic earnings calendar. Don't think we have much on the earnings or the economic calendar. Really what we're looking forward to is Tuesday of next week, which is CPI. So Friday today, if we go to this, you guys can see today is Friday, and wholesale inventory, Chicago Fed Governor Chris Waller, and this is the wrong date. I just realized, sorry. What's going on here? Yes, all right, never mind. This is just wrong. They're trying to get me here. So this says, this was yesterday, Thursday, September 8th, Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks. Then it says Friday, September 2nd. So their website's wrong here. But wholesale inventories, Chicago Fed Governor Chris Waller, Kansas City Fed President. So just Fed President speaking today. I wouldn't expect too much off that. Next week is the big stuff. So CPI right there, Tuesday of next week, core CPI, pre-market 8:30. That is definitely something we're gonna have to watch here. Initial jobless claims, retail sales, and yeah. So big watch Tuesday next week, CPI. That's our next big event. That is something that we have to watch out for. If you're on any type of swing trades, which I am on an Nvidia swing trade, so I do need to be aware of that potential movement off CPI Tuesday of next week. All right. So Tesla momentum, finally a little bit of momentum on the Tesla side of things. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Nvidia, AMD. I like Nvidia, AMD. You can go watch my video yesterday for more details on my trade. But I like these setups. Some of the technicals look good, and I want to share it with you guys today. Costco. I'm really watching Costco here. You got a 535 level approaching. This could either be a really clean rejection point or a nice breakout point. So very key Costco level coming up. We've talked about this a few times. Amazon over 130. This was a big move yesterday. Definitely watching Amazon as it pushes over 130 into 132. Some levels to watch. Apple underperformance. We've seen a lot of weakness on Apple. Downtrend is still holding. Very weak. And we also see the same thing on Microsoft. So we'll sort of look at Apple, Microsoft, and we definitely see some weakness on those two names, which is a little concerning to see. UNH, break and retest. Definitely watching this. XLV held that demand that we've been talking about. UNH starting to get a little bit of upside. Shopify and Meta channel lows. And then finally, the XLE. XLE, the energy sector, a little bit of a retest hold. Energy's holding up. I want to show you guys that as well. All right. That is our schedule for today. Here we go. CTA. Love you too. If that's what you needed there. So, ES. Let's start Nasdaq. So, Nasdaq. We've broken through a lot of key levels. This has definitely been something that I've been watching, sort of break through over the last 2 days. You guys can see on Wednesday and yesterday, we just sort of grinded to the upside. And yesterday, the key hold in the morning was that 12,230 level. So if we sort of take this all off and look at what happened yesterday, the key thing that happened yesterday, the reason why we continued higher and the reason why there was still bullish momentum is because of this hold right here. This hold, the fact that we did sort of mess around with it. There was a lot of wicks, a lot of sort of volatility. But overall, if you sort of look at the average of this area, you can see we held this area pretty well yesterday. You can see these previous highs that turned into support, right? This is just a classic break and retest. This is previous rejections turning into support. If that happens, if that continues to happen, you're going to continue to see upside. That is the definition of an uptrend. That is sort of, that's a short-term uptrend. If you keep making higher lows and higher highs, if you come back to previous pivot points and you hold a support, you're going to continue momentum. So that's what happened yesterday. That's why you continue this momentum today. Now, this is a very big level, and anything can happen off this level. We'll have to see how the momentum looks today. You can see this is clearly a previous rejection point. This is clearly a heavy level around this general area here, around 12,430, 12,450, and then 12,5. On top of all of that, you have the 100 SMA sitting right above on the Nasdaq. So 12,5 is almost like the make it or break it level here. If you look at this chart, you can see we have pretty much retraced almost all of last week's moves to the downside. This is on Tuesday, so we are back into this is Tuesday after hours, so we're back into the Wednesday's levels, right? We're back here into Wednesday of last week levels. High of Tuesday is here, and that would be the weekly highs. Right here is the weekly high, so last week's highs is up around 12,660. So we have retraced majority of this move, right? We've broken this downtrend, which has been good. We've seen the continuation, but this is going to be the major thing to watch today. 100 SMA, 12.5, previous rejection point, and you have a potential rejection point again. If we break this and we turn 12.5 into support, then I would expect there to be continuation, right? If we break 12.5, if we see more upside, I would expect there to be continuation. That's the major level that has to break. If we break this down into the shorter term time frames, let's just look at what happened yesterday. You guys can see, if you get a pullback, right? If you get a pullback today, which you should, I think you should get a pullback in the pre-market. The first level I'd be watching is right here, 12,370, right? You have a previous high from yesterday. You have a support in the pre-market and a support in the pre-market. I'm sorry, this is after hours. So you have a previous high from yesterday. You have a support in the after hours, and you have a support in the pre-market here. If we get a pullback, you would likely want to see this hold for upside, right? You don't want to see that level get lost. So in the short term, if you're looking for a pullback today to potentially buy, if you think there's more upside on this market, then you definitely would want to see this level hold. Losing this level, right? Coming back down into this level, pushing up, and then losing this level right here, right, would likely cause there to be weakness on this market. So 12,370, that's around the area that I'm watching today for potential pullback hold. I'm really not going to get involved to the upside until I see a pullback, right? I'm not going to go long into 12.5. That's just foolish. So I would be looking for a pullback if you want to go long personally. maybe 12,370. That's sort of where I'm watching. If you get deeper, if you get deeper, it might get a little bit messy in here because you're basically just back into yesterday's chop fest for the majority of the day. I would say watch 12.3. That would be the highs that we've created multiple times here. So previous high here, previous high here, previous high right here. You can see a bunch of rejections here all midday, right? All there. So you guys can see 12,370 and then 12.3. Right? That's what I would watch on the pullbacks. If we don't pull back to any and we just rip right through, then look for 12.5 to turn into support, right? You need to see 12.5 turn into support. That would be the most important thing for continuation. So 12.5, 100 SMA, 12.370, 12.3. Big levels to watch here on the Nasdaq. ES. Okay, ES on the hourly chart, you guys can see we have broken. I'm going to delete that because I don't think we get there today. You guys can see we have broken above the 100 SMA and this very key level here from back in, this is Monday of last week. So we are above Wednesday's highs. We're above Friday's highs of last week. And we are trading back within some of these Monday levels from last week. You can see this little consolidation zone between 40.20 and 40.30. That's the level I'd be watching today. This consolidation right here, which was a rejection, and you can see we held it yesterday or held it in the pre-market today. We held 40.20 on a pullback, and you can see we're trading right there at the 150 SMA. So if you get a pullback, I would want to see us hold at least 40.20. Next upside resistance, really don't see much until, around this 40.60, 40.70 area. The Tuesday's highs would be your next target, in my opinion. If I break this down to the 15-minute, like I said, I think you'd want to see, I think you want to see that 40.20 come in. If you get a little bit south of the 40.20, this level looks pretty nice at 40.10 as well. Right here, you guys can see this 40.10 level. I'll delete this. You can see right here, it's the previous highs from yesterday, the rejection here, the support here, the support here, and the support here. So if you get a pullback, then I would look for a hold around this 40.10 area, right? See if that can hold there. So 40.10 would be the first. You can see if you can hold the 150 SMA here. That would be surprising. If you don't quite get back to 40.10, then I would watch this little pivot point right here, this 40.25. Why do I say that? You have a previous high into a support right there. So this is just short-term look, guys, right? This is just for you to try to trade this in the short term. I would look for pullbacks to 40.25. I would look for pullbacks to 40.10. If you break 40.10, you're right back into yesterday's levels. Momentum's not as sexy there anymore, right? It's just not really. If I'm not going to try to be buying upside if I see a move, if I start see us trading here. Not on a Friday, no way, right? If I'm going to trade upside today, it's got to be real strong. It's got to do everything that needs to happen for a continuation, right? That's what I need to see. If I'm going to try to play upside, more upside today, it's got to do everything that's mostly bullish. So the most bullish thing you could see here is likely a pullback to here and continuation, or a pullback to this 40.10 for a continuation. If it doesn't do either of those, I don't think you mess around with it. To the upside, if it does break down, maybe you can look for something like this for downside, right? This, if you turn yesterday's highs into another rejection point, then you got yourself some easy downside there. So on a Friday with the momentum move that you're seeing, I'm gonna look for the most bullish cases to even think about going long. If those don't happen, I'll try to I'll probably try to find a place to look for downside if it comes in. Maybe around this 40.10 for the ES. And then if we break this 12.370 on Nasdaq, something like this, right? So that's what I'm watching on the Nasdaq ES. Key levels to watch out for today. Probably the same exact thing on the Dow. We'll go over this one quickly. So yeah, pretty much same thing. Downtrend was broken on the Dow. Very strong move. You're coming into the 50 and 100 SMA. And let's see where this level sort of matches up. Yeah, I mean, you're sort of trading right at this rejection point, which could definitely start to show some, tough area for the Dow. 32,000 on the dot. 32,000, right? 32,000, 32,000, and this consolidation around 32,000. So Dow, 32,000, tough level. If you break that, if you hold it, maybe you move up to the 50 and 100 SMA. If you don't, look for our same pullback levels, right? All of it's the same. Nice little pre-market level here. Previous high, double bottom, 31.77. Right there. Look for those pullback levels to see if it can hold. Russell broke that 1835 level on the hourly chart. You guys can see this was a pretty clean breakout. Right here. Pretty clean breakout on the small caps. Looks like you're going to probably try to trade back into this level here, I would expect. This 1870, previous low, into a rejection. Right around this 1870 level is where you could potentially trade into. 50, 100 SMA. If you get pullbacks, guys, as long as you're above 1835, I would say this retains some type of upside momentum. As long as this previous rejection point does not fail, as long as this previous rejection point holds as support, I would say bullish momentum still there. All right, if you start breaking back below these levels, that would be bullish still. If you break below this, turn this into rejection again, that's easy, right? So you need to hold this level, this 1835 on the Russell. That's sort of like the seesaw, the middle of the seesaw there. That is a must-hold level for upside. All right, guys, so some key levels to watch out for. Nasdaq's definitely at a rejection point. Be aware of that. This is a big upside move in the pre-market. I would always expect downside after a big gap up. And buyers are not going to be willing to participate when the Nasdaq's already up 1%. They're going to want to look for pullbacks. Look for pullbacks, the ones that we pointed out, right? I would be watching both this 12,370 and 12,300. If those break, if it doesn't look any type of strength, then don't be careful, chasing any type of extended pullback. And then on the ES, I would look for a hold of 40.25 and then a hold of 40.10. If those break, then look for downside. You got the 150 SMA right here trying to hold the ES higher. All right, guys, if you want to get these levels, I post them in the Discord down below. It says free technicals. I post just the futures analysis for free. If you want to get individual stocks, you will have to upgrade. But the futures charts are in there totally free for you guys to check out. All right. Tesla. So Tesla's finally getting a little momentum. Haven't seen this in a while. Finally. So a little bit of a downtrend break. Tesla's a little bit messy, I will say. It's not the cleanest charts. I've been saying this for a while. But you can see a little bit of a downtrend here. I would say that's roughly where you'd play it. You can see we did break a little bit of that downtrend. If I sort of break this down into the shorter term time frames, let me get a little bit more time here. We can see that we did hold both the 50 and 100 SMA on Tesla. So you can see this 50 SMA has been moving higher, and Tesla has almost been stair-stepping higher with the 50 SMA here, which was nice to see. 100 SMA held as well. You guys can see right here a little double bottom at the 100 SMA. So definitely some support in this zone, right? Definitely demand in this zone for Tesla around this 268, 270 level. All right. We got above, this was a pretty key hold that we saw around this 282, 280 level. That was a key hold. We saw that hold yesterday, actually. Sorry. So yesterday, key level, 282. You can see we broke above it. Pre-market, we held it. Pre-market, we held it. And I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday, but damn, did I miss a beautiful trade on Tesla yesterday. I was talking about the 280 retest. Look at this, guys. I mean, this was, I don't know how I missed this one. I think I was looking at, what was I looking at? I think I was looking at First Solar and Enphase at this time, and I just totally missed this. This was the sickest trade of the day. Congratulations, anyone that caught this. I know some of you guys in the chat did, but damn. 280, just a key level, psychological level, triple top from the day prior, Wednesday. Look at these tops at 280. Look at the breakout. Look at the pullback right at open. Boom, right off 280. Huge upside. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's just a fantastic trade. So really love that. Congratulations if you did catch that. Like I like to say, if you have shares of Tesla, you never miss out, right? If you have shares, you're never missing out on any kind of move. So I have a lot of shares. So, of course, I'm still happy that I have shares. But you can see that that was just a fantastic trading opportunity. So what do we look for next, right? Let's look for the exact same thing. What do you know, right? Exact same thing. Let's look for the exact same previous high. Boom. Right? Boom. Let's look for that exact same trade today. I would look for previous rejections, right? Previous rejection to turn into support, right? Keep that on watch. So 288, 289, look for that pullback. If you do, that would be a nice little gap fill, and it would also be a nice previous rejection. I would love that for a long opportunity. If I see this, if I start to see this thing build up, right, I'm going long on Tesla there. Easy risk reward, easy setup. Momentum's there. So if you get your early morning pullback, if it just flushes at the open, could be opportunity, guys. A little bit of a risky trade. Washout longs are a little bit risky. You got to be quick. You can't hope and pray. If you're wrong, you got to get out or you're going to lose all your money. So that's a risky trade, but someone that's disciplined, someone that knows how to stop out of a trade, someone that doesn't hold losers, it's a good trade because it's good risk to reward. If you're wrong, you get out, you walk away, and it puts some hair on your chest. So that's what happens. You gotta know what trade you're getting into. You gotta have your stops. If it doesn't work out, you get out and you move on. There's no ego in this, right? You don't have to be right. So looking for that on Tesla today. Looking for that pullback to 288. Nvidia, AMD. So you guys know I'm in Nvidia. If you want to know why, go watch my video yesterday. I thought it was a really good video. Yeah, I mean, it should explain everything to you why I took this trade. I'm hopeful on it, right? I know my concerns. I know my risks. I know that CPI is next week. I know the macro trend is not good. I know the market's still weak. I get it all, right? But, I like the analysis that I'm seeing. I like the short-term hold I'm seeing. And I like my and when I like my analysis, I have to trust it, right? What am I? Who are you as a trader if you're going to do all this analysis and you're not going to put on trades that you like? So you got to, if you like something, if you're watching it, you got to put some risk on. It's the only way you're going to learn. So I've been watching this 133 hold on Nvidia. Very nice hold, about a triple bottom, quadruple bottom here at 133.50. Easy stop loss if you're in a trade here to the upside. If it goes below it, you get out, you move on. It's all that you can do. So you got your upside push. You got to move over 140. Very nice move over 140. And you're seeing some more continuation. If we go to the daily chart, there is a gap on this daily chart. I also want to point out something, guys. Nvidia is one of the only tech stocks that is trading so far off its 50 and 100 SMA, like major tech stocks. I mean, it's down 20% from its SMAs. You'll see almost every other Tesla's trading above it. Apple's trading above them. Microsoft trading a little bit south of it as well, another underperformer. Google is trading south of it. So these stocks that are trading south of this is about 4% off. Microsoft is about 4% as well. Nvidia is about 20% off its SMAs. So I'm strictly looking at this as a opportunity, guys. I mean, this stock should not be down 30% in 3 weeks. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I could be totally wrong, right? I totally get it. And I could get screwed by more China stuff going on, but there's just a risk to reward at that point where you have to take it. So I'm looking for upside here, potentially into this gap fill on Nvidia. The gap fill begins at the high of this candle is 143.80. 143.80. High of this candle, and then the low of this candle is 149.59. 149.59. So there is a gap here, in this general area. I will be watching to see if we move into it. 143.86 to 149.59. Go back to the 30-minute. You can see we are pretty damn close to that. Yeah, Riley, go watch my video from yesterday. You'll see why I'm buying this. I cover it all. So that's AMD. I'm sorry, that's Nvidia. I'm watching that for upside. here's AMD. Very similar chart. You guys can see we got above this 83. Very nice move. If we get above this 84.30, that's even better. That's our next level here. And then after this, you're looking at these pivots here around this 85.60. So yeah, you guys can see 84.32, 85.65. I would just continue to watch these previous pivot levels, right? That's all you're doing. You're just looking at where these markets pivoted before, and you're looking for it to turn into a rejection point. If it does, it does. If not, look for those breakouts. Look for those break and holds. All right, if it breaks and it holds, look for more. Break, hold, just see if it continues to stair step. All right. So that's that. That's AMD. That's Nvidia. I would sort of definitely starting to watch that for upside. Watching that. Costco. So Costco 535, huge level here. I love it. I am definitely watching 535 for potential plays, right? So you have a previous support. You have a rejection. I am definitely watching this area. I'm definitely watching this area. Previous support into resistance. Do you see a nice little rejection here? Or do you finally see Costco turn this into support and look for upside? That's basically it, guys. That's all I'm looking for. It's not very hard. It's not it's not rocket science. I'm either looking for a push into 535, us to start to show rejections, for the market to start to sell off, and I can look to sell Costco, or I'm looking for a strong market, a push, a hold to 535, something like this, right, where you start to see it hold, and then you look for that upside move. So that's it. Just watching 535. This is a big key level today for Costco, for even over the next few weeks. Amazon, really nice move on Amazon. You can see, look at this little break and read. This is just gorgeous stuff. Nice little break, little retests of this previous rejection point. Nice hold of the 100 SMA. Nice little curl here. I like the hold that you're seeing. We'll see if it can maintain itself, of course. If I go to the 30-minute chart, rocket surgery, yeah, rocket science. Brain surgery, rocket science, that's rocket surgery. Did I say rocket surgery? That's great. Rocket science. So, Amazon, 130. This was your key level break. That was your very, very key level break yesterday, and you did get it, which was very nice. Towards end of the day, you started getting it, and the after hours, you just pushed right through it. So 130 was the major break there. You got your major break of 130. Your next level to be watching is this 132. If you get 132, then watch for a rejection. Fabir, thank you, man. $20 donation. I appreciate that very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday. Thank you, man. Appreciate your contribution and appreciate your support to the chat. So rejection, 132. Big watch, guys. 132. Keep an eye on that. If you break over 132, 133, 133.20. So yeah, I mean, this is a nice little curl here. You can see the 50 SMA. It's just stair stepping higher. Look at these holds at the 50 yesterday. I mean, that's crazy. That's literally on the dot. Look at this double bottom, guys, on Amazon. Just absolutely ridiculous. The exact number of the 50 SMA. So that's pretty interesting. That's something to watch. Keep that 50 on the screen. 132, you get a break and retest of 132. I'd look for the move to 133.20, maybe even 133.50. All right. If you reject this 132, then look for the pullbacks, right? Where's the pullback? Where's the next level? Next level is back to 130. All right. So, what's coin doing? Damn. Wow. Big coin move, huh? I've still been buying Ethereum, whether I'm really stupid for doing that or not. I just, I started putting a small percent of my portfolio in Ethereum, so I buy $100 a week, so $400 a month of Ethereum. I just buy it every week. We'll see if it works out. I mean, that's money that, can go to zero if it really wants to. I'm just have some skin in the game just in case you get another huge push. Plus, you got Ethereum I started buying it at 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 is where I started to really buy it. So I feel like I'm in at a good point. I'm not in at 4,000. I'm in at 1,000, some at 1,100, most of it at 1,200. Let's see what happens. Just dollar cost average into it. Maybe one day it'll wake up. It'll be at 100,000. So Coinbase, yeah, upside there. What was I about to look at, though? I was about to look at something. Forgot. But yeah, Coinbase. I guess I'll let you know what? Screw it. Let's just look at Coinbase. So Coinbase, I was totally wrong on Coinbase, right? Yesterday, I took a loss on Coinbase, guys. I traded Coinbase. If you guys are in the live trading, I took a loss here. I was looking for the rejection. I thought Coinbase would be relatively weak, and it was not. It was clearly not. So I had to get stopped out. So I got stopped out over right around this, I think it was around this 50 SMA, around this 69.50 area. Got stopped out of my put. I looked for it on the downside, and just did not work yesterday. So clear strength, totally wrong about it. And that's what happens, guys. You're going to be wrong sometimes. Take your loss, move on, right? You can still be green if you're wrong. You just take your loss when you're wrong, right? Very, 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 I know, a very difficult concept, but so just, yeah. So big push up through 69. Nice push, really strong. This is a lot in a little, what's a good, it's a lot in a little time for me, for Coinbase. But yeah, big push. I would look for this pullback. Absolutely. You need something here. You do not chase this move, guys. You got to get at least 77 pullback, maybe back to the 100 SMA and back to this retest level here. That's what I would look for. Look for a little 77 pullback. If you can get 77, 76.50s, I'd look for that. If you get more, maybe look for the gap fill, because you do have a gap here on the 1 hour chart. So my next watch would be the gap fill, 73.50, right? So look for 76.50, 73.50 on pullbacks. Or this thing can just rally and maybe fill this gap, which it never did, right? You could just see this thing rally and push right into that 81s. So let me get a little bit more time here. I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see this thing gapped down and just never filled that gap. So, you could very well just see this. I mean, Coinbase is Coinbase, right? It's not Apple. It can do crazy shit. That's how Coinbase is. So if you get continuation, which you absolutely can, I would look for 81.50, 82, right? That's your previous support. You're either going to get this move, straight up to 82 today, or you're going to get this pullback and continuation possibly, maybe this pullback and continuation, or you just, sort of die out. But if you're looking for upside, these are the opportunities. You look for the pullback to 76.50, pullback to 73.50, or you might just have to chase this thing out the gates if you really want to trade it. But that's not my style, so I won't be doing that. So that's that. Apple's been weak. A little bit of underperformance, but you know what? You gotta remember, right? Apple's outperforming in general everything. So, I think maybe just a little bit of money slowing down to buy Apple, right? I personally wouldn't buy a ton of Apple shares up here, personally. I would rather be buying stocks like Nvidia, stocks like Google, like Microsoft, like Tesla, which are still a pretty nice discount off their highs. I mean, I'm still gonna buy Apple, but I would, if I was most people, I understand why you might get a little bit of underperformance on Apple here, maybe a little bit of money sort of staying away. It's basically, I mean, it's pretty damn close to all-time highs, especially it was at this point, and you're probably going to get continuation of profit taking off that. I mean, it's literally 15% off the highs when you have Nvidia down 60, so I get it. It is slightly underperforming. You guys can see here, over the last 30 days, it's sort of been in this downtrend, and it's still not breaking that downtrend. So, you got to get that downtrend break before I would even consider this to the upside. You can clearly see that downtrend is too strong. Rejection, and it's still not quite over it. So watch out for that. 100 SMA did hold very nicely there. If you hold this 155.50 area, which has held multiple times, I would look for this break of the downtrend. If you break the downtrend, you could see this ignite again. right? You could see this maybe ignite back towards that 160. This is where every other stock is trading, right? That's the interesting part. This is where the market is trading, right? Does that make sense? I can go ahead and pop on. I'll do it for you real quick. If we pop on the Nasdaq, we will see the underperformance here. I don't really like that chart. I don't want NDX. Let me take that off. I don't want the NDX. Take that off. I want the Nasdaq composite. Oh, I don't want that either. Where's the... Hold on, guys. Sorry. Oh, I know why. I got to do my custom thing. Quick study. Compare with. Custom symbol. There we go. Nasdaq. All right. Yeah, guys. So this is pretty clear. This is actually very clear. Look at this difference here. So this, how do I get this to move? I want to line these up pretty well here. There we go. You can see they're lined up pretty well. But yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this difference. So look at Apple here and look at Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq is trading back at these. Why won't this? Usually it lets me move that underneath chart. I'm not sure why it's not. But usually you see the Nasdaq sort of move with Apple. You can see Nasdaq moved up, we moved down, moved up, we moved down. Very correlated. Correlation. All this correlation, guys. All this correlation. And then look at this. Look at this divergence between the two trends. So you can clearly see Apple underperforming. Does it catch up? That's something to figure out, right? Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft's catching up, right? You can see Microsoft catching up with that Nasdaq. Google, very similar to Nasdaq, right? Google pretty much the same. Tesla's always going to be a little bit different. A little bit of underperformance on Tesla, and then we start to catch up, right? But Apple, very deviated. So yeah, something to watch out for, something to know, something to note. Does Apple catch up? Is this opportunity, or is it just going to stay weak? We'll see what happens. I can't answer that. But that's Apple. A little bit of weakness here, and keep an eye on that. Why is this scale in percentages? What is going on here? I have never seen this before. Great. This scale over here is now in percentages, and I have no idea why. So if I can't reset that, then we're going to not know the numbers that are on the right. Who knows how to reset that? Time axis, price axis. Show prices percentage. How did that just happen? All right. Anyways, let's continue. Sorry, guys. UNH. So, UNH, I like this. I like this retest. I like it a lot. So, I'm definitely watching it. Previous rejection into support. I love that. All right, this is what I look for. Nice little flag pattern. If this holds, I like this potential setup. UNH, you look at the XLV. You guys can see daily chart, XLV. Look at the bounce, guys. This is what we've looked at almost every day. All right, we've looked at this XLV for the last 5 days. And, yeah, I mean, it's there once again. So the power of this demand zone, right? Support. And once again, boom, look at the XLV yesterday, guys. So stocks like AbbVie, we've been talking about this for upside off that XLV demand, right? Stocks like UNH. Off that demand. I love this setup. So I'm definitely probably going to take a trade here today on UNH. I'm really liking the break and retest on XLV, and I like the break and retest here on UNH. Definitely watching it. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it just dies out of the gates and never moves higher, then I'm not going to do it. But if I see continuation, if I see momentum, if I see that violence, speed, momentum, if you know where that's from, then you're an OG. VSM. Then I'll look for upside. So UNH, break and retest. XLV, strength off demand. Definitely watching that today. All right. 4-hour chart, Shopify, my baby Shopify. The leaps are still alive. The channel's still alive. The upside is showing itself off 30 again. Is there opportunity here? I'm just going to keep buying shares personally. I don't really have interest in trading options on Shopify down here. A little bit too questionable. I'll buy shares all day. But yeah, guys, just wanted to point this out. You have another channel low hold of 30, right? Watch that. Khalid, thank you, man. 1999, you are amazing. So are you, my friend. Thank you for the support. The doc, yeah. There we go. Violence, speed, momentum. All right, so shop 30, channel low again. Beautiful. You got a little bit of a downtrend break here. I would look for continuation here. Personally, I'm just going to be buying shares. This is accumulation to me. This is my accumulation phase of shares on Shopify. Okay. Meta. Sorry, guys, if you hear the landscapers outside. We'll see if you can hear them. Usually they're here on Thursdays, but maybe they're a little late today. So, yeah, it's going to get annoying. There they are. All right, so Meta, you guys can see support, 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 support. Channel low, holding once again. What do I want to see on Meta to get upside? I would like to see this break and retest on Meta, right? This is what I'd look for to go long. If I can see Meta break 167, if I can see it turn this previous high into support, then I would look to go long on Meta, right? This right here, previous rejection points into support. This is my entry point, right there. So definitely watching that 167, 168, watching that level for a break and retest on Meta for upside. Finally, what I got for you guys is the XLE, the energy sector, and I want to show you what it's done. It's held this little retest level slightly so far. In the morning, it's showing some strength, right? Look at what XLE is doing. The XLE is still making higher lows and higher highs, right? That's what happens when you're in an uptrend. So you have you have a low, you have a higher low, you have a higher high. This one's about an even low. That was a nice pullback, but you have a previous high here, double top, make a higher high, higher low right here. Create previous rejection into support. Push up, you come back down, previous rejection into support. Does this low hold this time around? Right there, previous rejections into support. Technicals would show that there could be some upside momentum into this 84 again. Of course, this is just technicals on the XLE, guys. You got to understand that the energy sector moves off a lot more things than technicals. So if you're going to trade the XLE, you have to know that. But on the technical standpoint, this is a nice hold, guys. 78, 79. It's a pretty solid hold. You can see it's just a pretty textbook break and retest for me. So, yeah, I would watch that. That's what I would watch on the energy side of things. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the stocks that you guys want to look at. If you guys could take 1 second, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, help me support the channel, help me grow the channel. That would be great. We got AAL, we got Disney, and that's probably going to be all that I do, unless someone gets in a stock in there within the next 30 seconds or so. All right, let's go AAL, American Airlines. So, American Airlines, guys, any airline is, to me, just not investable. It's sunk. It's a sunk cost. I guess that's not the word. It's dead money at this point to me, guys. I just don't see it. I don't see the value, the potential value return here with how slow this has been moving, right? These stocks since COVID, guys. I mean, this is all the way back in 2020, guys. So you have this drop back from COVID down to 8 on AAL, and you just haven't seen any recovery of it. It's dead money. So I just don't see the reason to get in now, because you just don't quite know when this whole sector wakes up. Like, you could have said, I love AAL, AAL's down 20, 30, 40% off its highs. This is back in 2021, and look at just this slow grind to the downside. Your money's just not doing anything for you. So, yeah, I mean, you probably can get it. I mean, at some point, you're going to like it. But, for me as an investment, I'm just not really a fan of parking money here. Not yet, at least. On the tradable side of things, I mean, it's just sort of a pretty choppy chart. I mean, you could probably get some longs here off this 1240, right? If you can get longs off this 1240, you can see it's done it every time, right? This entire year. So support here, you buy it here, you buy it here, you buy it here, and just recently you buy it there, you get yourself a nice push. So over the last year, every single time it's bounced around this 1240 demand. That's how you got to trade it. You got to look at, okay, where is AAL typically bounce? Where can I go long? I'm going to look to go long off this level. Right? That's really how I would trade it. And then you can see rejections up here. So I would just trade this channel, right? Short here, buy here, short here, buy here, until it shows you otherwise. That's how I would go forward. Disney. So Disney's holding the gap fill level, which is very nice, actually. Daily chart. Look at that gap fill hold. So if this market flips to have some upside momentum, then I would look for Disney upside off the gap fill hold. That's typically a nice support level. After a stock comes back and fills its gap, typically that's nice support. So you can see gap fill, 110. I'd look for Disney to continue. Break and retest, 2 upside, gap was filled. Exactly what you wrote. I just saw what you wrote. Yes, totally agree. Retest this level, fill the gap. At least there's good risk to reward there, right? ZS, earnings, damn. That's what someone said. Here's what I'll tell you. Expected move is 11. You either do this or you do this. Okay? Or you do this. One of the three. DocuSign just had earnings. Nice upside momentum off earnings. Now we can sort of look at it. Now that earnings are out of the way, now I'll look at it for you. You can see, look at where it's rejecting. Just a clear rejection. This might honestly be an opportunity to downside. This might be a fantastic short play. This would be a gap fill too. So 67. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that could be a very nice play here on DocuSign. If you start seeing selling pressure come in here, this is where DocuSign's trading right now. If you start seeing selling pressure come in, this could be a fantastic gap fill. I would watch that. Boeing, nice retest or nice hold of this this previous low here, this around this 151 level. You can see it hold, but it needs to break and hold the 157. That's what I'd want to see. Break and hold of 157. It is above it now. I want to see it hold it. Snow is the same thing as Disney, guys. Gap fill reversal. It's not fully filled, but it definitely seems like it's found its level. You can see, I think it's probably found its level around this 167. You have a little double bottom. So I would look for that. I would consider this a gap fill personally. And then I would see if it does the same thing like Disney, gap fill reversal there. Adobe. Adobe has earnings. Good luck. It's sitting right at demand. Do you trade it up? Do you trade it down? That is only something that you will have to influence yourself to do, right? That's all it comes down to. Can you influence yourself to trade around earnings? I'm sure you can. A lot of people like to influence themselves that they know what's going to happen on earnings. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Help me grow this channel. Help me get it out to more people. I hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm gonna go into a Mets Marlins game. I'm excited for that. That'll be fun. I'm a big Mets fan. I'm not a big Mets fan, but this year I'm gonna be. I'm a Mets fan. I'm one of those fans that gets more into it when they're actually good. So, I'm a little bit of a weak fan, but I am enjoying it this year. Mets look sweet. So big Mets fan this year. Going to watch them play the Marlins in Miami. So that'll be fun. Play some golf. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Remember, guys, take your mind off this market. There's a lot of stuff outside of this market. There's a life to live. You don't need to be, you don't need to have an ego. You don't need to, you don't need to be at everyone else's pace. You can take it at your own pace, guys. You got to be happy with what you're doing. If you're happy with the money you're making, if you're happy with your consistency, if it's not huge, if it's not $10,000 a day, if it's not $100,000 a day, don't compare yourself, guys. This is one of the biggest things that I see online. You try to compare yourselves with what other people are doing. Everyone's in a different situation, right? So trade what you like to trade, make money like you like to make it. Keep yourself in check. Don't lose all your money, and learn along the way. So thank you, guys. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week. Peace out.